How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am out in BC with my little girl. We were visiting my parents, her grandparents. That's how family works. She's down for her nap right now. We've been here, This is or will be our second full day, I believe. We did a long road trip down to a place called Frogs Peak Cafe yesterday. Then we went into the town of Castlegar. We all went in Grace, got some supplies and whatnot. Now today is just sort of a stay around the homestead sort of day. And I thought it'd be a good day to sort of take advantage of the fact that we're just staying hunkered down. And I will get to some little tiny things that I've been wanting to do around Lucky for a while. I've been running the diesel heater at night to keep the tiny home on wheels while feeling like a home and not a block of ice. And I may have to go into town. Well, I could probably survive one more day, but we'll see. We might just knock it off the bucket list today. Take Grace into town, fill up the diesel jerry can, and then top up this diesel here. Maybe this would be a good time to try to see how much diesel it actually gets used. I don't know if I'm feeling that ambitious today, though. What I do want to sort of get a look at today is, number one, I want to get all of my sheets off of my bed and utilize the fact that I have a washer and dryer like 10 feet away from me. Get all of the linen washed up and cleaned and ready to go, since I'm not actually spending any nights inside Lucky right now. And then I want to get my mattress the heck out of here because I have a place to keep it nice and dry in the house. And get underneath the bed and take a look at my power setup. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know my power setup under the bed. However, currently I'm rocking two separate battery systems. I have my LifePLUS battery from Lead Time that I installed not even a year ago. And I've got my original Trojan flooded batteries that I started my van life with in the back. And recently I had to take out my Shoreline charger for them to help my friend charge her batteries. Yada, yada, yada. Long story short, they're heavy ass batteries that I'd like to get out of Lucky's ass and potentially just store them here at my parents' for future use. I've had my LifePLUS battery long enough now that I don't think anything's going to go wrong. Although I guess the argument could be made, the longer you have a battery, the more likely something is going to go wrong. But I don't want to live my life in constant fear. And those batteries are very heavy and not being utilized right now. So might as well get them the yuck out of Lucky's boot, if you're British. All right, so first things first, let's get the sheets off of the mattress. Pillowcases at all. We'll just put the pillows in the front of Lucky. Yeah, along with the weighted blanket, which is already up there. Flower pillow, knee pillow. I got pillows for every part of my body. Head pillow, incoming pillowcase, and grab this sheet. Now, how embarrassing. The yummy top of mattress topper. Hashtag no regrets. Just fold this bad boy up like this. There we go. Perfect place to store it all. All right. As crazy and as beautiful as it was to see all that snow blowing in this morning, it stopped snowing now. It's actually almost, well, not completely melted, but it's nowhere near what it was. All right, a couple other things I think I may leave here. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Are these EcoFlow solar panels. I don't see myself pulling these out in the winter too often. Except for maybe if I go do some winter camping. I don't think that's gonna happen before I'm back here though. So we're probably gonna leave these here as well. Pull out the ladder, that there. And as I've mentioned before, the back of Lucky, these cargo vans, especially on these older models, these barn doors are very drafty. And while the doors themselves, speaking is hard. The doors themselves are stuffed with fiberglass batting insulation. They're still like drafty. So I've got a whole bunch of blankets just sort of smushed back here. Now might be the time to wash them as well. Not that they get very dirty, but again, see previous statement of proximity to washer and dryer. Ooh, and look at that. It's not that cold, but since we're at home, pull out the old house coat. There we go. This is definitely not dirty. I wore it when I was in the hotel recovering from my surgery, and it's been a draft blocker ever since. Schlepp this stuff into the house. Be right back. All right, blankets and sheets are inside the house. This mattress has been great. I probably went a little too firm. I'm learning now that I've had my back surgery, but pre-surgery going this firm, which was pretty good. I got it custom made at a place in Calgary, and it's been great for van life. That was one thing I struggled with when I moved into the van, was finding an appropriately sized mattress. And when you build your van yourself, custom really is the way to go, and it wasn't even that expensive. It's got this nice like hinge in the middle, which should allow me to just fold it right up. It's been a hot minute. Uh-oh, my hats are gonna misbehave. Oh no, we're okay. There you go. And then we can just sort of schlep this guy right out of here. BRB. Okay, so here at the back of Lucky now on the bed platform, I had the best of intentions. Best laid plans, as they say, when it came to this part of my van build. And the bed, while still functional, does not get used in the originally intended way. Anyway, it's got this nice piano hinge on it, and you can actually fold the whole platform open. It'll come up. Oh, we're gonna have our first problem with the video game controller mounts. I seem to remember this was going to be an issue when I installed them. Thought nothing of it at the time. We might be okay now. Let's see. Well, dang, that bottom one is going to have to come off. I thought for sure it would clear it when I installed it. I was wrong. But honestly, this might be the universe telling me to correct my mistake. That bottom controller gets used the least and falls off the most. So, boy, that's really on there. And there we go. Welcome to building your own van when you're not a professional. So this just folds up without any sort of problem and over on itself like this. And then when there's nothing underneath it, which is just not the case right now, this whole part will slide back over this again. And in theory, you would have yourself a nice little van couch. Sometimes I say no regrets, but it is what it is. Welcome to my power setup. So actually out here, you can see I have this 1-2 off kill switch. It's what allows me to switch between the LifePO 4 battery right there, one of the reasons preventing this from becoming a couch, and the flooded batteries, which are in this handy dandy little box that I built, because with flooded batteries, they do have a tendency to off gas. So I had to build a box for them to live in, and a vent for them to vent out of. That's that little vent you see on the outside of Lucky every once in a while. This one right over here. Yuck. But yes, it allows those batteries to off gas and not kill me. These haven't seen a charge in a while. Might look like a lot of rubber worm nonsense going on here right now, but these do have a watering system installed, as well as the battery charger lines and yada yada yada. I do want to get these out of here. That is the goal. So I haven't looked at them in a while. Give me a minute to sort of refresh myself. Everybody just calm down. Then we'll catch up and see where we're at. All right, for those that might be interested, real quickly, just to give a recap of this system that I had, and it actually served me well for over a year of my van life. However, these are two 6-volt batteries done up in what I believe is called series to make them 12 volt, and this gray cable here connects the negative of this battery to the positive of this battery, and that doubles your voltage but keeps your amp hour the same. I believe these guys are like 240 amp hours, 195 amp hours. Either way, they are flooded batteries and they require maintenance. This is the watering system that I was able to find on Amazon that connects them, because you got to keep the cells topped up with distilled water. These yellow tabs, if you remove them, you'd be able to see down into the battery cell and you would see the water level. This whole system just keeps it easy. You squeeze a bulb that's connected to the other end of this hose here, and then it just disperses the water and keeps them nice and topped up. And this hose I just took out. It was actually through this hole in the box here, in a little hole there. Hi, there's the tip of my finger. It went to this little tit here, and then there's another part of this that connects to this, and yada yada yada. That's the headache that comes with batteries that require maintenance. And of course, you've got your negative that goes off from this battery to the chassis of the van, and then this this is a negative, even though it's red, but it's all the cable I had on hand at the time. This runs out through the box here, attaches to my battery shunt. That's for the battery monitor. And then the positive here runs to my positive battery bus bar or whatever over here. And then this little guy right here, the Noco, this is what I want to get off. That's what goes to that big gray battery charger that I let Amber use. And down here, when she was shuffling around in Fish Creek Park underneath my bed, she was disconnecting it from right there. So we'll hopefully get all of that out of there so that that battery charger is once again one and the same. So yeah, I just got to take all this apart and we can hopefully get those batteries out of there. My intention is to maybe put my LifePO battery back here. That might not be now, that might end up being a future Matthew problem, but let's just see how far we get. It's kind of funny. All this stuff here is like silicone and stuff that I was using to seal these holes that I made in this box that I made. And I was just shoving wires through this box. And then because there's a hole, you still don't want stuff leaking out. So my theory was just blast it with silicone and it'll, you know, seal it up eventually. And I mean, I'm still alive, so I can't exactly knock my idea. But now I got to get everything out. It's going to be a bit of a pain because this battery charger cable has this huge fuse on it, but it got in there. I should be able to get it out. Save the bolts for the nuts. Hashtag save the nuts. These batteries should have a handy little handle or something. There's another reason these batteries aren't exactly the most user-friendly. They're heavy AF. They come with this like strap design of a handle to get them out. Whereas, I mean, that might just be these batteries specifically, because most batteries have a built-in handle, right? I sort of have to brace myself here. Lift with me arms. Out you come. Wow. Hello. Been a hot minute. How you doing, darling? As comfy as this is, I'm a little warm. This house coat's gotta, yeah. Put that back in the house. Ooh, thank you, Cam. I'm just gonna put our vest back on for the rest of this for now. Ooh, and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this battery to the house. Sheer willpower. All right, let's see if this is any easier to get out through this hole. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, there we go. All right, the positive for the battery charger is free. Is that another battery temp sensor? What the? Oh yeah, one for the battery monitor. No, it's not for the battery monitor. This one's probably for the DC to DC charger. Either way, you don't need battery temp sensors when it comes to lithium and LifePO 4 batteries. So these have just sort of been flopping around, hanging around. Look at this crazy like membrane that is formed over this negative cable at the back of this box here. There we go. I gotta get this free if I want to get this box out. But yeah, this cable was just connected to the negative on the battery, and it just runs up to the negative point here with the rest of the negative connections on the actual frame of the van. I'm wondering, I might have to hook that up to the negative on my LifePO 4 battery. Got the batteries out of there. You know, if I'm being honest, it's a little bittersweet. As much of a pain in the butt it was to maintain flooded batteries, this whole setup back here, I was, you know, oddly quite proud of, because I got the flooded batteries not even thinking about the off-gassing situation, and then I found a way to just make my own box, make this from scratch gasket on the top here. That's this brown stuff you see here. It's also on the underside of the lid that I made. It also had to be a oblong shape, as you can see, in order for it to fit where I wanted it to go. And I got these like clasps to hold it down. These things right here, right? They're tension based or whatever, and they just sort of snap up onto the lid, and then they slam down, they hold that lid in place. And I had to build, you know, drill the hole here for the vent, and I make this PVC tubing because it wasn't flush with the wall of the van, and obviously I had to hit it with some spray foam. And then before I put the actual like outside rain guard on this vent, I had to put a mesh screen so bugs wouldn't get in. And it really was the first, like, I shouldn't say it was the first like thing that I had to get creative with in the van build, because at that point the majority of the interior, I suppose, was done. But I don't know, it's been around ever since I moved into Lucky. So it's kind of been, it's been part of her ever since the beginning, and it's a little weird that I'm ripping it out. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it, because progress is good. But yeah, I even got little L brackets holding her down right here onto the frame of the bed. One there, and I believe there's one on the floor. And I'm gonna have to remove this as well. And we'll be saying bye-bye to one of Lucky's very first inner workings. That's so weird. I could have sworn there was one into the floor. It's not really behaving like there is. Go for the gusto at this point. Pull it right off that piping. Get the flashlight. Peep all the holes. Oh, hey, there's a screw right there. Look at this. I even siliconed over it because I was in a panic. Right there. There's a screw there that I hit with silicone. Now I gotta get that out. It's right into the wheel well box's side. Okay, so for some reason that's what I was confusing with a floor mount. Yep, here she comes. The silicone was doing a bang up job. All right. Oh yeah, she'll come right off now. Oh boy. Wow. Up and out. Oh, she's out of there. See? Playing with Legos as a kid pays off. Wow, now that is a sight. Now we got this to deal with. Oh, nope, never mind. That was pretty simple. That came right out of there. Now we've got that to deal with. Whew. All right, I'm just actually in the cusp. We were waiting for my little brother to show up, which I see he has now since I ran across the street to get a few provisions for the van and for the little ladies in my life. We're just headed off to the shooting range right now, so I figured now was a good time to sort of capitalize on getting what I needed. So let's get this in the truck. I'm running around with my dad's whip here. Don't knock my brother's truck. Let's get this in the back here. A few things for van projects. Got some black paint. Got some spray foam. Plug some holes. Picked up some sea foam for the diesel heater. Gonna put that into the tank. Some people swear by it, so figured it can't hurt it. My diesel heater has been giving me some white smoke on first startup, and then turns the pump off, turns back on, and it fires up every time. So put some sea foam in, see if it clears it up a bit. I also picked up, of course, Miss P, a slice of pizza, along with some marijuana for the kitty cats. So we'll get that to her. And Brooklyn, well, I saw this and I just figured she'd probably have a hoot with this. She's having a day with her grandmother right now. But spill-proof washable paint, those are all words that I can absolutely get on board with. So I'm gonna go spend some time with the boys. And when we get back to the homestead there, we'll see what I get up to today. This is the next day, by the way. Lugging those batteries out of Lucky, I needed a break. Ooh, can you hold this? Can you hold the garlic bread? Thanks.
Is Grandma's house far away?
No, it's not too bad. We just gotta go up the road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the matter? That's your pizza mouse. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh. There you go. Good girl. All right, so I've really been dragging my feet on this project, but it is what it is. This is basically half a vacation, half my life. That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I've just been taking it easy and enjoying some time with my family. And now it is time to sort of plug this hole up here that was left from when I ripped the battery out. So that's why I got the, where did I put it? Boom, spray foam. So we're gonna fill that hole, and then we're gonna see if we can reposition my LifePO 4 battery from lead time over in this rear area. And yeah, just sort of get it all sort of tidied up over here. I've gotten it all nice and vacuumed. I still have to get into my negative bus bar and release the other side of this charge cable for the big Noco 26,000 charger. But yeah, let's get this hole full of seafoam first, shall we? All right, so this should help prevent any sort of drafty drafts from getting to my head whilst I slumber when the nights get real cold when I'm back there in Calgary. So I haven't actually used this stuff since the original build on Lucky. Let's see how this works. Should be okay. Oh yeah, no problem. Fill the hole. Fill the hole. I don't want to get it too far I don't want it coming out the outside, but whatever. And the stuff will expand on its own. And I've got plenty of time out here still. We can just let this dry. And what I'll probably do is slice this off once it sets and make that nice and smooth so it just doesn't look like just a big old on the wall. That was easy. All right, and then under here is my LifePO 4 battery that is the main power source for all of Lucky's systems. So I want to get that from there to here. But I'm also concerned about temperature. LifePO 4 batteries don't like cold. That's why I modified my bed. I don't even know if we can see. Can we see the giant hole? Yeah, sure. It's down there somewhere. And the heating vent from the diesel heater actually shoots right in at that battery, which is great. I installed that last year when I got the LifePO 4 battery. So obviously I'm concerned that back here is going to be a lot cooler. It is sitting on an insulation board right there, that little Pink Panther board. So I'm going to bring that all back here and try to get it all tucked in this area. And then I will check in and see what I've sort of concocted. Hang on. Never mind. I've kind of been poking around in here. And the issue is that the positive solar cable from my charge controller that comes to the battery is just long enough to reach the battery where it is, so I wouldn't be able to have my battery here. So it kind of inspired me to be like, well, maybe the battery should go at the front of the bed then anyway. I mean, it'd still be obnoxious. I wouldn't be able to get to the battery without taking the bed out. That might just be my curse. But I think I'm going to leave all of this until later. As I mentioned at the end of my last video, I might be doing some house sitting for my parents in the new year, which would give me an extended stay here, which means that I could put Lucky into a more permanent state of disabledness and not worry about it. And if that's the case, and I'm feeling ambitious enough, I may redo all of Lucky's power in the back here, and just spend some time rethinking it and hopefully making it a little bit easier to access. And so yeah, I'm just going to tidy this up. I'm glad I got these batteries out and I got nice space back here. Obviously it's just going to be a garage for the time being. And I did also want to get to redoing the vent on my diesel heater, but my back is absolutely killing me. That's why I got that extra piece of ducting from my storage unit before I left. Again, if I'm going to be having the bed in that state later down the road, that might just be something I tackle then, because in order to get to my heater vents and all that stuff down in there, the battery would have to come out anyway, because I would need to close the bed. So that's all going to be on hold, but that doesn't mean I can't do one small project, and that is this. All right, so here on the side cargo door, I've got my window coverings from Priscilla. And I've got this nice bit of foam board that's just sort of sitting behind it. And I got this window that I put tint on. Now, hang on. I'm eating a Haribo frog. Delicious. Okay, so something I've been kind of mentioning here and there for a while now is completely blocking these cargo door windows off. As you can see, what I just took off, that's what it looks like all the time. It's just got that piece of insulation board behind it and then the cover on top of it. And it was the same over here on the other side as well, except I don't even have the foam board anymore because that's what the LifePO 4 battery is sitting on. And through my meeting with my friend Mike a couple videos back, where we were talking about the camper van that he's going, or the van that he's going to be camperizing, I should say, we got to talking about windows and whatnot and how you could insulate them and block them off. And I had no idea if you could or not. So here's my theory. I'm going to spray paint the window black so that from the outside it just looks black. And then I'm going to put a coat of damn frogs. I'm going to put a coat of the Rocker Guard beige stuff that I've been using, just because that's the one that I have on hand behind the driver's seat in Lucky, to give it that textured feel. And then I'm going to use spray foam to adhere this insulation board to the window. And then I will put a piece of wall paneling over top and have a place to mount little light things to, whether it just be just simple stuff like pictures or tiny hooks for little things, and then utilize this space more. Because after 2 years in the van, I think I've looked out this window once. Will I do it to all 4 of the windows, being these 2 side doors and the 2 rear barn doors? I don't know, but we will see how this one goes. And I'm thinking I'm going to, I wonder if I should take the tint off first. I mean, it's just another, I suppose if I didn't take the tint off, I wouldn't have to spray paint black. Hey-o. It's funny because when I was building Lucky, I cared less about screwing up, but now that she's my home and I've been in her for 2 years, I'm a little bit more hesitant to do things. Not enough to not do anything though. So funny, hindsight being 2020 and all that. The day that I put this tint on these windows was a super frustrating day because tint is a pain in the butt to put on so it doesn't have bubbles. But I bet you it comes off. Yeah, pretty effing easy. Well, we're in it now, boys. Wow. Okay, here we go. These was my original solution. I just had like, it was an emergency blanket, like for like, it had reflectors on one side and red on the other side. And I used Velcro to put them up here my very first winter before I had anything else here. But the Velcro pads wouldn't stay to the metal. So I put little tiny self tappers in to hold the Velcro in place. Oh, damn spot. Out, I say. Well, I'm not going to be too picky. I'm not going to tape off or mask anything with frog tape. Forget that. We'll move the paper towel because we can. We'll move our cast iron scrubby because we can. But the Rhino recovery gears pouch is permanently mounted to the door, as is this itself. So now we'll test my spray painting skills and see how much I can just sort of keep it on the glass. Well, it definitely works on this side. You can't see a darn thing. It does not look pretty on the other side though. Not gonna lie. Yummy runny paint. That's okay. We got the black coat on, no big deal. And we will hit it with that rocker guard spray to make it texturized once this is dry. And this is the time to be doing this because we're not currently occupying the tiny homes, so the fumes aren't gonna kill us. However, I'm going to leave that progress until the next video. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to follow along with that insanity. And thank you very much for watching this video. Until the next one, just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourself. Most importantly, be positive. And remember, only dead fish go with the flow.
Sending it. Send it. Send another. Follow-up shot.
Send it.
Send it.
Send it.
Send it.